Welcome to Wrinkle Society of Hope. Thank you so much for coming back to our page today. And if this is your first time, welcome. Today you're going to hear a courageous story from a woman who had to press through her wrinkles in life in order to continue on. Now, I would love for you to subscribe and share our Wrinkles page. And don't forget, hit that notification button so you can hear the courageous story from our Wrinkles women. I can't wait for you to hear the story today, and I hope you come back to listen to more. Have a good one. Hello, Wrinkles family. I am so excited, so excited. This is my girl. Listen, this is my SAI sister. This is my line sister from Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and we grand fam till we die. Let me tell you. This is Porsche. Porsche, introduce yourself to the Wrinkles family.
Okay, yes. So my name is Portia Matthews. Maiden name was Portia Robinson when I was at the Grambling State University with Summer. And Summer and I, we just go way back. We were in the band, SAI, AKA, and I'm just so excited to just reconnect with Summer. I am an educator. I've been teaching for 15 years. And I just stumbled upon a new career as an ESL teacher, which I work with students that are learning the language of English. Most of my students just moved here from places like Honduras and Guatemala. So I can sort of tell if they've been educated overseas, but once they get here, they have that language barrier. So I work with first graders, and they're adorable. They really try to please me, but the one thing is that they just don't know English. So that is actually what I do every day. So I'm considered to be an ESL teacher. I love working with students. I'm a mother. I have an 8-year-old daughter. She drives me crazy every day. My husband, he's actually an educator as well. He teaches engineering. He works with high school students. So our house is basically just an education family. So we just love working with students. And I'm excited about this interview with my awesome, beautiful, from the inside to the outside, Mrs. Summer. So I'm ready.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I didn't know you do ESL. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes.
Love that. And the little ones. Mine's a first grader now. So my little ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they are
Nice.
different. They are a lot of energy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So as you see, Miss Portia is as beautiful as she was at Grambling. I don't see no wrinkles. I had never seen a wrinkle on her face. But if you would get a physical wrinkle, how do you think you would feel about that?
Well, actually, I from the question that I saw, it's like I actually noticed, the reason why I said notice, I paid attention to a wrinkle under my eye when I was like maybe 41 years old. And it's so weird because I'm so busy, and I know that the older you get, we do start thinking about our physical and our health, just being aware. And honestly, I went through a period where I did worry about the way I look because I did pageants as Summer can remember at Grambling in my maybe early 20s. So I was always looking at my face, worried about my hair. But life happens. I ended up with a child. So honestly, I even got into the Mary Kay skincare. When I turned 40, I didn't feel it. But like I said, when I was 41, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking, wow, I actually saw a wrinkle. And the first feeling I was sad, I'm just being honest, because it was like this revelation of the word aging, something that I've never had to worry about. My family, we have Choctaw Indian in our family, and it's really close. You saw my mother. When you see my mother's side of the family, we always say you all just don't age. Where did you get? What are you drinking from? What water? Because they literally do not age. But on my father's side, I do have different races and from his side of the family. And
Mhm.
so I would always think, you know what, I'll never age. And I don't know what this is contributing to, but at age 41, I did see that wrinkle. But it kind of made me stronger. I'm thinking, you know what? Like we said, talk about our hair. I am not my hair. I am not my face. It's an inner thing, you know. So I think immediately because of my self-esteem, I was thinking, oh well, but uh and I haven't noticed it since then. I'm 43.
Oh,
So, but it was just a quick revelation, like, is
yeah.
that a wrinkle on my eye? You know, and so I guess women, we see different things the older we get, but I did notice it under my eyes. So
Yeah. And I think it's just, once you accept it, sometimes it's not as dominant as it was when you first see it. Because you first see it, even a pimple, you're like, oh my God, where'd that come
right,
from?
right.
But yeah, I love that. I love that. And we go through life, we have some emotional wrinkles that we have to press through as well that are
Yes.
pop up out of the blue, or we just all of a sudden notice it. What is something that you would like to share about an emotional wrinkle that you press through?
Well, actually, I consider myself to have strong skin, you know. So I am. I don't know whether people believe in signs, but I'm a Virgo. So I sometimes I have to have everything perfect,
Mm,
and I'm always that friend. I'm gonna smile all the time, but
yeah.
deep down, I could be hurting, but you will never know it.
Mhm.
But I did think about a time when last year I'm getting into my spirituality. And I felt like last year God was just kind of stirring me a little bit, you know, and I didn't know whether this was because he wanted me to make a move. I was at a school. I taught, this is my 15th year teaching, and I had been in this school for 10 years. And I say, this is my family. I love the students, the school, the admin, everything was perfect.
Mhm.
But I felt like I was getting a little complacent. And it was in my mind. I'm thinking, oh, I'm comfortable. I'm great. And just things started happening, Summer. It was like, it was just crazy. And I have to admit that I had an adult bully,
Mm,
you know, that sort of harassed me a little bit in front of other adults. And someone
mhm.
said, well, Porsche, I think she's just jealous of you. But
Yeah.
that was the last thing on my mind. And then I think, you know, I'm the type of person, I kind of catch things late. Like as a friend, Summer, you could say, well, Portia, you didn't see somebody do this to you. My mind may be somewhere else. So
Yeah.
I consciously just one day sat in a meeting. I said, well, let me watch this person. And they really tried to demean me in front of a group of teachers. And it happened about 3 times. And I didn't cry because I said I was tough, but there were other educators that came to me like, Portia, you gonna let this person talk to you? And I said, well, you know what? If I was 21 years old, no.
No.
You know, if people know me from Gremlin,
Yeah.
you know that I will express myself quick, but I was into praying. I was going to Bible study. And it's almost like a spirit was just saying, Portia, be still.
Mm,
And I don't know what that was, but God was like, don't move. Long story short, I did tell you guys that I am an ESL teacher. This is my first year being an ESL teacher because I could never pass the test. I have the degree. I got an extra degree.
mhm.
So last year, it was another spiritual journey that I went on, but just praying and having faith, I passed the test. And so I feel like around this time, this is right before COVID, it's like God was like, Portia, I'm about to move you. You know,
Mm,
I'm about to stir your spirit up. You about to get harassed, you about to get bullied. I'm about to send all this crazy stuff to you. It's like a testimony because I'm thinking, God, why is this stuff happening to me every day? It's like if somebody's not watching me on camera, if somebody's not coming in my room telling me I'm not doing something right, which I've never. So that was my 14th year teaching. I've never had this to happen, but with faith, with prayer, with me being still, like he told me, I passed the ESL test and then ended up with a new position this year.
wow.
And I kind of just feel like if God hadn't have taken me through all of this last year, I wouldn't be where I am today, which I love my new position. I mean, it's just like the biggest testimony of my life. And I can think of other things that have happened to me in the past, but I'm thinking as an adult, this is where I'm starting to be more aware of my life. And, the older I get, I'm noticing that if something is happening that's so-called not good, if it's adversity,
Yeah.
he's about to put me somewhere else.
Mm,
So I really need to accept that adversity at that moment, because Porsche is not a bad thing. But you've been comfortable, you've been sitting here for 10 years. It's time for me to put you somewhere where I can use you.
Wow.
I tell you, Summer, that I got this new position, new school, new principal, new staff. It hurt because I miss my old friends. But when I tell you, I have testified to more than about 6 people are coming to my room with their stories, and I'm thinking, what is this? And God is like, Portia, this is where I want you.
Mm.
And it's not that I used to, I think we all have been accused of gossiping, because
Yeah.
it's easy to gossip.
Mm-hmm.
But where I am, in my new position, I don't gossip anymore. All I do is tell people to read your Bible.
Mm.
That's what I tell young ladies, young teachers that are trying to give up. I say, look, you have a purpose. So it's almost like he's putting the words in my mouth.
Yeah.
And so I'm just on another level, but that's definitely that wrinkle that I could say that was really moving in my life. I feel like I may be 80 years old if God blesses me to see that day, that I can come back and look at that one experience from last year where God stirred it. And he said, Portia, you got to move. So what if I hadn't listened, or what if I had reacted to that bully, or what if I had said something crazy? I would have lost my license. But it's like he had this thing on me and saying, Portia, be still, pray, listen, and I'm about to put you somewhere that you never thought that you would love. And when I say Summer, it's like, it's so peaceful. And it's like I sit at my desk every day at this new school, bro. And the school is brand spanking new. It's called Parkway Village Elementary. It's a 21st century school. So I'm sitting in this room and I'm like, how did I end up here? And so that's why I know that is my wrinkle. And I'm going to always make that my foundation, because I can tell other women, I can tell other human beings that adversity and difficulty in your life possibly could be a foundation for something bigger, but you have to be able to pass that test. It's like he's giving you this big test, and he's probably saying, you know what, I gave you this test 3 years ago, you didn't pass it. I gave it to you a year ago, you still didn't get it, and so I'm about to give it to you again. And I feel like once we pass that test, it's like boom, he jumps you somewhere else. So and you know what, Summer, the thing is, I'm 43 years old. I think that was one of those first tests I passed in my whole life, because it's like he put me in a whole new situation. And another thing that people are saying, Portia, why did you leave the great neighborhood school? Because the school I left is a big time school, really, really good name, good neighborhood. They said, why you come up here to the hood? I'm thinking that's where God wanted me to go.
Yeah.
And I'm about to make some changes. So that's my wrinkle that I can say that I've had recently, that it's just moving my life. I can see things moving.
I love that. The power of being uncomfortable to make a change, I mean, you were so uncomfortable in that situation, but you stayed peaceful in that. And that's really powerful. I think more people need to realize, I think we so used to react the situation instead of sit back and just wait.
Yes, that's all you have to do. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, why is this happening to me? And then sometimes you can say, well, why not me?
Yeah.
So maybe he picked me because this other person is not going to do what I can do. That's why I feel like we should never be jealous of anyone, because we all have a gift. Every human being that we're around, he's picking each person to do something, so.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And thank you for
I'm almost tearing up in here, because every time I say that testimony, girl, it just does something to me. Like,
and you can't have a testimony without test.
Hello. Yes. Amen.
So I mean, and I thank you also for being an educator, because I know some people was making jokes like, oh, due to COVID and parents homeschool, and they finally realizing who educators are. But let's really think about it. Educators are taking care of our children and giving them their future. So,
amen.
I mean, thank you for that. Just like we thank people, I think we really should thank doctors, and we should thank nurses. And yes we need to thank educators as well, because you guys are saving lives every day.
every day, all day.
All day. So
Yes.
the woman that you are today and the wrinkles that you've pressed through and learned, the things you have learned now, what would you tell that Portia at Grand Fam walking
Okay.
and marching and stepping and
Yeah.
doing all the things that we did at Grambling? What would you tell
Yes.
her today? What would you tell her?
Well, I was able to literally go back from maybe my freshman year to like when I walked across that stage is to just invest and don't waste time.
Mm,
I think wasting time is like it's kind of like that free money, like we're getting that stimulus check and it's like it's free.
yeah.
So I feel like you wasting time, you wasting money. Like of course you could have had that $500 just get. And so I think back then I was focused on the wrong things. I think and I know it's easy to say it now, but when you tell a 18, 19, 20-year-old focus, I don't think they, unless they've been told that from 3 years old up until they're 18,
Yeah.
they're not going to get it. And I grew up with strict parents. My dad he's still crazy. My dad is very strict,
Yeah.
but I don't think I was taught to focus. Like we have to be taught to study. You have to be taught good study habits.
Yeah.
I think the wasting of my time back then and not just really focusing on Portia, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I wish I had that person to stand there and say, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
If I could tell myself that don't waste my time, because even with that praxis test and things like that, while I was chasing, I don't know, guys, or whatever I was doing, I could have been in my dorm room literally studying for that test.
Yeah.
And although we didn't have supervision in college, but the
Mm-mm.
older we got, we don't want to be in college forever. We don't want to make it a career. But I just should have been more, like where is the brain? Where are the screws? When I was like 19 and 20. And I do feel like things happen for a reason. I'm not a person to say that, okay, well, you were there a year or two later than what you should have been. Who knows? But I just feel like if I could just say Porsche at 20, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence, and you really need to get yourself together.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell myself.
Well, we tell ourselves a lot by if we look back then, but we like you said, the person that we were then and all the things that we've been through has made us the person that we are today. And
Yes.
the person that you are today and how you feel about yourself today, you got a shirt made. What would that shirt say?
You know what? I think my situation like today, like as we could say, it's 2:13 here in Memphis, Tennessee. My shirt would not really say a word, it would say letters. And the letters would probably say CSSG. And the reason why I would say this is because it would mean consistently seeking spiritual growth.
Ooh.
And so I think I had to think about that, because I'm like, if I want to reflect, if someone was looking at me, Portia, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life right now? I'm trying to grow spiritually, because I feel like when I get to that level where I'm more aware of what I'm doing, it's like no one can tell me anything.
Yeah.
You can't tell me this stuff. I don't know, things are happening on the news. We have so much social change that's happening. Where am I? What changes am I gonna make? But I don't think we really would know what we can do as individuals until we grow,
Yes.
spiritually. So I am still, like I say, consistently seeking. If I'm seeking and I'm still moving, I'm not there yet.
Yes.
Spiritual growth. And I feel like the more I grow, the more I can still stir that pot and make a change. So it wouldn't be a word, it would be those letters, CSSG.
Oh, love it, Steve. I mean, when you think about these things, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to get that shirt made, right?
Yes. Because I would love for people to ask me, Portia, what is that?
Yeah.
And I would always say, I got to pass all these tests that he's putting on me. I got to pass them. I got to be more aware if it's a test. I don't want to be up here doing whatever in my mind somewhere else when he like, I'm giving this girl a test and she's not even paying attention, because I feel like you'll stay in that same rut, you won't move.
No.
So
No.
but yeah, that's what my shirt would say.
Yeah, you got to get that shirt. You got to get that.
Yes.
So tell me, what are you doing in the community now? We know you're educator and providing so much support to these beautiful children, but what
Yeah.
additionally are you doing?
Well, when you asked me, the first thing I thought about was I'm doing a couple of things, but I'm doing this thing called a bike club at work. And it's so weird because my principal sent out a message this summer. I'm new to the school. No one responded. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just be in a bike club. And when I tell you those babies love it, they just love learning the information about the bike club. And we do more than just bikes. We learn about nature. I
Oh,
didn't think it would be that big, but it is a community situation because we have to invite parents, the community. We do these things called rodeos,
hmm.
which we have not been able to put on a real rodeo because of COVID. But the idea of it is insane. But that's the first thing that came to my mind. And I'm thinking I really love this bike club situation because the kids want to show you their bikes, and we're learning the rules about bikes. We're learning about safety, signs on the street, and then we talk about their physical health, working out. It's bigger than what I thought it was gonna be. So I
Awesome.
do have someone that's sponsoring the club with me. So she's awesome. She's a professional bike rider, actually, but I'm more of the speaker. I organize everything. So yes, that's one thing that I'm doing for the community when it comes to my students. And something else, and I don't know if I'm sure Paula has mentioned it, but I guess you could say really a year ago. Well, I can even go back to Grambling, and I always tell people my foundation with anything in life now. I'm diverse. I can speak. I'm not shy. Is because of Grambling State
State
University.
University.
And we know that it's an HBCU, but I can say HBCU all day. So
Yeah.
somebody can say, is it Jackson State? No, ma'am. Is it Mississippi Valley? No. Okay, this is the Grambling State
Yes.
University. And so, I did so much. I did pageants, and that helped me become, I guess, I may act shy around my friends, but when it comes to me getting in front of a crowd, I can say anything
Yeah.
because of Grambling. And so, speaking of Grambling, I guess around 2000, there's a guy named Richard Swafford. That we had the modeling troops. We had Black Dynasty,
Hmm.
and I tried out for Black Dynasty. I'm like, why am I doing this? It's time we graduate. But I tried out for Black Dynasty maybe in 99, 2000-ish maybe.
Hmm.
And I actually got a little upset back then because they put me in one scene, la, la, la. Anyway, Richard came in one day. He said, well, Portia, we got to make this new modeling troupe called Prestige. And I'm thinking, Richard, you have nothing to do with your life. But back then, looking at Richard, he was so driven. He was so motivated. And I was actually able to work with him with the troupe. And it actually became really big at Grambling. We actually have a newspaper article about it. And he was actually the founder of it. I was the walk technician. And then Paula was in it. We had a lot of track students in Prestige. Anyway, a year later, Richard was trying to contact me, Summer, and it's like we say, life is busy. And so one day I said, you know what, let me talk to Richard. And I'm like, Richard, what is it? And he said, Porsche, I'm trying to do this new thing called my favorite, .com. And honestly, when he said the name, I was like, I like that.
Like that.
He's such a genius. He's he does software engineering. I'm thinking, I have no clue of what this is, but this was a year ago during COVID. It was nothing. When I say it was an idea, he and I were writing stuff on paper and just trying to get this together. And so later he actually got the website up, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And it's actually a social media platform owned by an African American, so it would be equal to Facebook. So you could consider Richard to be the next Mark Zuckerberg if you want. And it's a social media platform. It's to me, I think I have faith that it's gonna be huge. But for me, just to see it a year ago on paper, and now he has a website, and then we have the followers, I'm getting a little nervous, So right now, as far as the community, that is something big that I'm a part of. I'm a part of the committee. And I always ask Richard, what is my title? Because I just told you I'm an ESL teacher.
Yeah.
So he said, well, Portia, he first said, well, you're the chief people officer. You know how to communicate. I said, I really do.
Yeah.
Now you can say I'm the chief media and people officer. So, but that's what I'm doing. That's a big project that's in the works as we speak.
Perfect.
In summer, I actually saw you on there, and I got excited. And then I tried to brag. I was like, I got Summer on there, and Richard was like, "Well, don't Paula know." I was like, "Ah!" I was like, Paula.
Yeah,
Just the
Paula
fact
reached
that,
out.
yes, but just the fact is to see you on there, it was huge, and it's just gonna be a really great thing for. And we never dispute. I don't like to say the word discriminate, but when I think about African Americans and the accomplishments that we made over the past thousands of years,
Yeah.
to bring forth an African American that's going to own a social media app, that's like beyond,
Yes.
so it's going to be really big. So that's something that I am a part of at this moment. Hopefully it will grow to where it will be a household name. We could actually put the app on our phones one day. And the thing that I'm doing, because we talk about natural hair, that's one of the things that I really, I love it. I went natural, I transitioned. So I will be a part of making those articles that kind of stir the pot. I'm going to bring up topics that really relate. And sometimes we can say to most African Americans, HBCUs, women. And the articles will be articles that I'm going to type up. Of course, they'll be vetted or whatever, but that will be my first topic, is to be natural or not to be natural, and I just think that's a huge deal. And I'm going to be talking to from little girl up into 80-year-olds. What are some things that our ancestors went through? We talk about Africans and people in Egypt and just our hair, and I would love to meet India Irie, because I'm thinking, India, you made this song when I was at Gremlin. I am not my hair.
Yes.
So, are we hair, or, are we our face? It's a huge deal. So, and I have other interesting topics, because I may go as deep as the sororities and the fraternities. That's on a whole nother level.
Yes, it is.
but yeah, so it's just gonna be awesome. So it's myfavorite.com, and so if people listen to it, please get on it, register, put your favorite moments, put your profile on, and just support. Really, you're supporting an HBCU graduate, and you're supporting African Americans, and we're just going to make this move, and we're going to put ourselves, we're on the map, but this is going to put us on this world, this type of thing where people in Africa are going to be talking about myfavorite.com.
I love it.
That is something that I am very excited about.
Well, I love it. And myfave.com will also be on wrinklesocietyofhope.org.
Awesome.
So there will be a link there as well. So you can go directly to wrinklesofsocietyofhope.org and then click on the link under Portia and Paula's picture. And that way you will be able to go directly and register. Please register. Let's give support. And also, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's a cool website. And, we want to support people that are trying to start their own. That's the biggest thing about this. So I am so excited about it. I can't wait to see these articles about natural hair, because I'm definitely natural hair as well now, been for a few years. And I hear so many people say how you do it, why you do it.
Right.
So I'm excited to see these articles come out about that. And of course, both of us being from HBCU, just anything that's coming out, we need to start having more discussions.
Right. Exactly. It's so much to talk about. And even when we talk about that natural hair summer, I think we're so unique.
Yeah.
I can't go to just one person and say, give me, what do you think about natural hair? No, I may have to get about 50 women to get each experience, because my experience is not your experience.
Exactly.
So with natural hair, I just think it's the root of us as African American women.
Yes.
Because we always say that this is our crown, but how deep is that? Are you judging me off of how my hair looks? Are you judging me off my skin completely? They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What is beauty?
Yes.
Is it a woman that has long hair, short hair, no hair?
Hmm.
So it's huge, and I'm ready to just blow this up. And Summer, you will be one of those people that I'm gonna look. You have to let me know about that natural hair experience. I want to know about what was in your mind from if you ever had a perm
Oh yeah.
to what was that first thought in your mind? Why am I going natural? What did you see? What did you feel? Did your hair come out? Some people have hair coming out, so
Yeah.
like I say, everyone experience. My hair didn't come out. It was just a movement for me. I
Yeah.
started seeing all these beautiful black women with all this natural. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, now, and I have a perm. My hair looked the same every day.
Yeah. I remember.
I want a different look, and
Yeah.
that was my experience. So
Well, we
I'm
will talk.
excited.
I'm excited about it. Listen, boom, do that. I'm excited.
Yes,
Well, we
yes,
definitely are going to follow Portia as well on Facebook. So I have her link above so you can follow her on Facebook. And that way you can stay linked to what she's doing out here because she's
yes,
making
yes,
moves and making things happen. And
yes,
so, sis, thank you so much for
yes.
coming
I
to
am
Wrinkles
so
today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and we're gonna have to keep this going. We're gonna have to stay in touch, and I think it's perfect, Summer. I'm here to support it. I think this is gonna be a nationwide success. With that, when that question about that wrinkle, I had to think about that, and that's huge. But Summer, you're beautiful.
Oh,
You're
thank you.
ageless. I don't see a wrinkle on you, Summer.
Oh, I
I'm
got a
jealous.
lot. I got a lot.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's a wisdom in those wrinkles. That's how I see it.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
you know, well, thank you so much today, sis.
Thank
I love you
you.
so much.
Love you.
Bye, wrinkles.
Bye.